info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
And knocked down again. That was Christian Miller.
It's time for the Miller's Edge
with four-time SEC champion
and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here is college football playoff national champion
Christian Miller
on Tide 100.9
and 1230 AM WTBC.
And welcome into this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope you guys are doing well. We got plenty to talk about and plenty of explaining to do. It is scrimmage day. Again, this is scrimmage number 2 today. As you see on the title, it was supposed to be fall camp scrimmage 2 preview. Well, excuse me, it sounds like it's going to be a review because they actually went to work early this morning at 9 o'clock. They started their scrimmage very early, which I clearly didn't have the time, correct? And wasn't able to get out there, which it wouldn't have mattered anyways because I have a bunch of stuff going on. I had a consultation set up, an appointment this morning, so I wouldn't have been able to make it earlier. But I was anticipating it starting around 11 like last week, and I was gearing up to head out the door, and I was like, let me hit some folks up over there and make sure I'm on the right time, and clearly was not. So unfortunately, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. I can't go because it already happened. But we will have plenty of intel to talk about. Chris Lowe of On3 had a huge report earlier today that we have to discuss regarding the Alabama quarterback battle. We'll talk about that. Kayla Nabor will be speaking to the media pretty much any time now because the scrimmage literally took place early this morning. Now, I guess, last week they sent out an email that had like all the details and time and stuff. I didn't hear that or see that this time around. I don't know. Personally, I think they were trying to keep things in wraps a little bit more. I don't know. But anyway, we will be discussing scrimmage number 2, but I apologize, guys. It won't be me heading out there this time like I did last week. Time did not line up, and realistically, I couldn't have made it anyways. But you got me, you got the Pastor Payne hanging out. We're going to talk about what we're hearing from scrimmage number 2, talk about Chris Lowe's report that has come out earlier today that's got a lot of people buzzing because it sounds like even before the scrimmage took place this morning, there might have been an answer to who the starting quarterback will be for Alabama in 2026. So we got to talk about that. But first, I welcome in the Pastor Payne who's hanging out with us. He got a nice little new backdrop, it looks like. I see you got the jersey, you got the Gamecock football. You got the, what is that?
We got some flat play of the game football that's about 40 years old.
Need a little bit of air. What's the plaque on the other side, though?
That's the Hall of Fame. South Carolina Hall of Fame. That's the Giants jersey back there. You can see over here, right there.
Pillow thing?
Yeah, I got a pillow. Then I got other stuff, your stuff, all of us. Pretty big, so I can't get everything. But I got my studio upstairs. I hadn't got up there and put it all together yet. Got some stuff up there ready to go. I got a big, massive room over with couches. It looks nice. I said, got to put some other jerseys up there. I said I had no help to do it, but I'll get it done.
It's going
that's cool.
nice.
So I got a nice little, my helmets and everything is in the case over here. So my SEC legend stuff, all that, all my New York Gamecock helmets in the glass case. You can't see it with the TV.
You got to get all that so it can be seen. We'll figure all that out. Kind of, you got helmets in my background, jersey.
So I ain't gonna move that, but I'll put a couple
we'll get you set up.
There.
We'll get you set up. We definitely got to talk about scrimmage number 2 here in a moment. Again, it already took place. Again, they shifted the time. Are we thinking it's because of the heat, or are we thinking they wanted to try to keep it a little bit more low key? I mean, what do you think? I feel
it's all heat. It's the weather.
You think it's heat?
I
don't know how I feel about that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about that.
Because somebody posted last night. There's coaches, high school coaches. They're having to go to work, catch this 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning for a 6 o'clock practice because of the heat. And again, I don't know, I joke about politics, but climate control, whatever. I'm like, brother, that would have never, ever happened in my day. Is it harder today in 2026 than it was in 1986? I mean, maybe 40 years ago, I don't know.
Maybe a little bit. Could be.
It was hot in Watermelon Field. It was 100 degrees back then. I mean, we stayed outside all day long in 100-degree weather. We shot basketball on with the backboard on the tree in 100-degree weather. We played tackle man with the football in the field in 100-degree weather. Everybody was all right. I mean, nobody needed, salt pills or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's because the kids are soft. Because of games, because of computers, because of cell phones, because of 72 degrees and air conditioning. They don't want to go outside. Nobody's making them go outside. Therefore, they can't handle the heat. So it's not climate control. It's the fact it's kid control. It's growing up. These kids are in air conditioning. They in this comfortable weather. I mean, they've canceled high school jamboree games because it says too hot. They've canceled. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, is this somebody? Please tell me. Now I am old school, but is it something that much more drastic and different than what it used to be? Somebody please tell me, because you don't even want it. You're going to cramp up. You're going to have to get IVs. That stuff happens. I know heat stroke. And I remember when it first happened to one of my teammates at Minnesota, Corey Springer. I don't know if you remember that name. He's one of the first players that died from being overheated in practice. And then that kind of sent up an alert, and then things started happening. I get protected. But y'all have so much to say, y'all, but these young people have so much to their disposal, from hydration, eating right, nutrition, all of these different things. But I think schools are just so worried about lawsuits and if something happens to a kid, you know what I mean? So they get there.
I think it's that. And I think it's also, think about it, science, right? I mean, there's been a lot of new, research done in terms of performance, heat, right? You see the new supplementation that people are coming up with. I don't know. I think that's part of it too. Just like they know more about concussions and the effects on the body nowadays with the sport of football than they did back then. So I'm assuming that heat-related illnesses and things like that are definitely probably taken more serious because of situations like you mentioned and or various other research. Who knows? But you're right. It definitely probably is a little, I don't know. I don't want to say soft, but it's just, I feel like you got to at least prepare for the elements you're going to be in. They didn't move it back last week. That's why I started at 11:30. They normally practice around 10:30. So I don't know. And then yesterday, their practice, it was pretty much like a walkthrough. It looked like they just kind of had T-shirts and kind of were going through script stuff. So this is what I putting those two things together. I think they wanted to see everybody at their very best ability. Matter of fact, I'm almost confident that's what it is, because you have a very, very light practice, borderline a walkthrough the day before in the indoor. So you're reserving those guys, their body, their energy, all that good stuff, letting them get ready for the following day, which is a scrimmage. And then you scrimmage earlier on in the day when it's not as hot. I think what they wanted to see was, hey, we challenged these guys last week. How about in this next scrimmage, we get them at their very peak. That way we see everybody at their very best before we make these final decisions. Because like you said, it is what you call moving day, or that kind of final big showing that these guys have for these coaches to prove that they can be dependable and players that can contribute this upcoming season. So that being said, the scrimmage did take place earlier. We will be hearing from head coach Kalen DeBoer very shortly. I hate it that I wasn't able to get out there and see with my own eyes again, even if I did have the right schedule. I'll be honest with you. I literally had two things this morning. I probably wouldn't be able to get out there at all. So I am upset about that. But the good news is we'll have plenty of intel, right? I'm going to shoot a couple text messages out to some folks that were in attendance, and hopefully we can get some good nuggets here as soon as possible. Plus, we got to talk about the big report from Chris Lowe, because that alone in itself deserves a big conversation that we have to talk about. Because it sounds like even before the scrimmage took place, a potential starter has been decided at quarterback, and we need to talk about it. We'll do that, but first we got to hit a timeout. On this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge, we'll be joined by Adam Lamparello of Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy at the top of the hour as well. We'll keep on rolling, talking scrimmage number 2, hearing from head coach Kalen DeBoer, all that good stuff coming up right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.
Crimson Tide, sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. Scorching sunshine, dangerous heat index values near 110. Highs this afternoon near 100. And a light westerly breeze. Watch the sky later. Could see a strong to severe storm pop up here this afternoon into the early evening. Continued storm chance early tonight. Cloudy, muggy 75. Sizzling sunshine with pop-up storms tomorrow and Saturday. 96 tomorrow, 97 on Saturday. Richard DeWetting of the Weather Channel for Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
It's 89 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The best station in the state, breaking down Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Into this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're talking scrimmage number 2. Again, took place earlier this morning, which threw us a little bit for a curveball there. But good news is we'll have plenty to talk about. We got plenty of intel coming in. We'll discuss that, and we'll hear from head coach Kalen DeBoer live. And we got that pulled up. We're just waiting for him to take the podium, which will be probably any minute now. So I'm curious to hear what he has to say, especially given that a good friend of ours, Chris Lowe, of On 3, had a big-time tweet this morning that really caught a lot of folks' attention, and clearly because he pretty much was, I guess, spilling the beans on who Alabama's quarterback, starting quarterback that is, will be for the 2026 season. And if you guys know Chris Lowe like we know Chris Lowe, you typically, you listen to what he has to say, right? He's not one just to say things that don't hold a lot of weight. Chris Lowe tweeted this morning, I'll throw it up here while we wait for head coach Kalen DeBoer. He tweeted this morning, would expect Kalen DeBoer to name Keelan Russell the starter by early next week. He's been excellent this preseason and gives Alabama more playmaking ability at the quarterback position. Throws a really nice ball. Now, is that coming from some conversations behind closed doors? Is that coming from the fact that, what's so funny?
I already know the answer. The coach of Chris Lowe, you can mark it down. I'm going to sit here and tell you right now it's 150% accurate because Chris Lowe don't say that unless the coach told him that. So either Ryan Grubb or Kalen DeBoer has told Chris Lowe, this guy has been doing excellent work, not just in scrimmage, but in practice, because they get to see those. But I know how this stuff works. And when you're talking about a credible journalist like Chris Lowe, when he says that, he ain't gonna say their name per se, but just go ahead and take that check and deposit it because it's gonna clear. You know what I'm saying? All the way that Keelan Russell will not be the starting quarterback, there's gonna be some injury if something happens. Other than that, go deposit that statement. It's done.
Well, like I said, I've been leaning that way since spring, but then I started coming around to the idea, hearing how it was a little closer, right, during fall camp that, it probably good chance that there's a nod. Not necessarily a good chance, but I would not be shocked if there's a nod to the veteran, right, giving him at least a crack at it. And then rolling with the young buck, who clearly has more playmaking ability. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, anybody that's been seeing these two guys could say, I felt that way in the spring. I felt that way during fall camp. It really was just a matter, and I said back in the spring, for Keelan Russell to win this job, it's not going to be how many plays he makes. It's going to be, can he show that he has the maturation, right, that he can command this offense, understands the system, not only what he's supposed to be doing, getting the guys around him doing it, And he's been doing that at a high level since the spring. I mean, to the point where everybody was really impressed at just how far he had come along in that process, right? They felt like he was ahead of it in terms of just really having a better understanding of the system, his job, and everybody around him as well. So I don't even want to say go ahead.
I'm going to drop another question real quick before Kayla gets up there.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be real important, folks. Start looking at who is number 3. Who is the third quarterback at Alabama? Nobody's talked about him. Nobody had said one word about who's QB3. And I'm saying that because QB3 may become important. What if Austin Mack says, you know what? Peace, 2 fingers. I'm out.
Nah.
You better pay attention. If it's not this year, who is QB3? Does anybody know?
The following year, I'm with you because Austin Mack only has 1 season left of eligibility. Unless it's something we got to talk about at some point. You got NFL players are now ruled eligible for college football again, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, and we'll talk about that after we talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later, especially with Adam. He can help break down kind of that lawsuit and all that stuff for us. But
so you can Austin, go to camp and they'll say that you ain't worth a crap, and then you'll go back and say, well, let me go back and get some. That should happen just after if you don't get drafted, maybe. But don't if you go put on that uniform, if you go smell a stinking sweaty jock, you're done with college sports as far as I'm concerned. But let me go back to this. Can you or Reed tell me who is QB3? Please, somebody tell me. Give me a name.
I mean, I would say right now, Chad's talking Jet Tamala. He was the young guy that's come in. He's done some really nice stuff. You got Cal, another young buck that's in there. But also urge, you're saying QB3 this year, I would probably lean Jet Tamala. But then I also would have you think about the following year. You have recruited the number 1 quarterback in the high school recruiting cycle in Elijah Haven. He'll be on campus next year, right? So, next year will be interesting because Keelan will be back. I would say Elijah Haven will be pushing a guy like Jet Tamala for that QB2 spot. And they've got a number of quarterbacks that they've had commit to them via the high school route. So, Alabama being good. I'm not worried about the quarterback position for Alabama, right? Why? But why? Tell me why.
Because I can see a guy like Austin Mack said, somebody just put in the chat about, your boy, Mr. Sheridan, where's he at? Wait,
but why are you bringing up Austin? Wait, why are you bringing up Austin Mack? You can't just pick up and transfer, dude. You've been off the show so long, you haven't remembered the rules.
No, I'm asking you, I know the rules change. I do know the rules. But I'm saying he going to be out regardless. So
wait, no. You're saying next year. We're not worried about next year. I'm telling you, no one's worried about next year because Keelan Russell will be returning next year. Jet Tamal and these other young quarterbacks will be competing. Quarterback too, and I just told you they also have recruited the number 1 high school ranked quarterback in Elijah Haven.
That ain't good enough.
They have Jet Tamala developing behind the scenes, who was a 5-star quarterback from this past cycle, dude. That's what I'm telling you. You got to do your research.
Zero experience.
And he would be. Why can't they go get a backup quarterback out of the portal? Why can't they get a backup quarterback out of the portal?
That's why they should have got one this year.
For what? That's dumb.
Security.
Why would you waste?
That's not dumb.
That is dumb. What quarterback? What worthy quarterback is going to commit to you and to be a backup quarterback? No, I'm asking you to be a backup quarterback.
I'm
not going to say that. That's a waste of money. It makes no sense. Come on, man. Seriously, think about this. The average rate for a quarterback, a decent quarterback. No. Let me make my point. Let me make my point. The rates for quarterbacks right now, even just a decent starter, is like $2 million. You're telling me you think they should take $2 million, which they could invest in offensive line, which that is much more important than a backup quarterback, in my opinion, right? Because Austin Mack will be just fine as a backup quarterback this year.
Well, and then I'm telling you, you cannot win a championship if you do not have a trigger man. That's what I do know. That is an absolute fact.
Bro, you're being stubborn right now, man. You're being stubborn right now. We're talking about it. Dude, Keelan Russell is plenty good enough
It's same thing people said about Clemson this year.
Come on, man.
He didn't bring nobody in. And
you're losing, folks, man. That's where you start losing.
I'm not losing. No, I'm not losing, folks.
But this is not the NFL. You're viewing it from the NFL lens. I get we're close to that, but listen, brother. NFL, you can get a cheap backup quarterback. College, the backup quarterbacks cost what you would pay for a premier left tackle. That does not make sense, man. Like, who else? The only school I saw do that was maybe LSU. They brought in 2 quarterbacks, right, that were, of course, Levitt. Then they brought in that other guy who I think was a high recruit. Maybe Oregon, technically, they brought in, what's his name, as a backup. Like, I'm not saying you can't do it. Yeah, right? Like, I'm not saying you can't do these things. Like, you can. But the only people I've seen do that is LSU and Oregon. Technically Ole Miss, right? Because they brought in, what's his name, from Auburn, Deuce Knight, I think. So I'm not saying you can't do that. And I do believe, yes, if logistically it made sense, yeah, why wouldn't you want to do that? But I'm saying if you're Alabama, they've already demonstrated that they're not trying to just shell out money that they don't have to. And you already have a quarterback room of 4 or 5 guys. Yes, they're young and don't have experience. I'm just saying. Money. So let me ask you this too before we go to break. You bring in a guy like you bring in Raiola, you bring in Deuce Knight, and what do you think?
Not going to play, and you allocate all this money to them, so they're going to get there. You're going to train them,
here we go. Hold on. We got to go. Let's go to break because we got Kalen DeBoer coming up. So let's go to break. That way we can hurry up and get back and hear from head coach Kalen DeBoer discussing scrimmage number 2 right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393.
Trusted by clients like Royal Cup Coffee and Tea, proud supporters of Crimson Tide, the Boss Company, one partner for everything your business needs.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit lamparello-law.com. That's Lamparello Law, Education, and Advocacy. Proud partner. Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rental. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
What does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
Follow the Crimson Tide on their journey to another national championship.
Touchdown, Alabama!
On your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Consistently. It starts again with just getting to the line of scrimmage and your operation there, everyone breaking a huddle, and all it takes is one guy going to a wrong position, and now the quarterback's trying to get that corrected. So less of that all week in practice, and I think you saw that today. The offense, I thought, did a much better job. You can see that they're honing in on the things that they do well. There's always areas that are weaknesses across the team that we need to continue to work on. The one thing about offensive football, you get to kind of decide what you want to do and what your identity is. And so I think we're really doing a good job the last 4 practices of working in that manner.
Go to Chase on the right. Who had to sit this scrimmage out, and did you get out of this scrimmage healthy?
Mm-hmm. Due to injury or anything? Yeah, I mean, injury. As far as just guys that are still out, EJ is not scrimmaging. I'd expect him. We're really hopeful that sometime next week he's coming back to step on the football field and practice. I would put Latsier in the same category, did not scrimmage today. Nick Sherman did suffer an injury today, and he'll be evaluated. It's a lower extremity injury. And so that was it as far as any injuries that happened in the practice today. So is there anyone else here wondering about? Okay.
Just how ready do you feel like Trayshawn Brown is to contribute right away? I was going to ask about EJ, but there we go. You just gave that.
Yeah. I just really think that Trayshawn, especially going to camp, that's the question, and you just feel more and more comfortable with him out there. Honestly, I felt pretty good about him as a ball carrier. Based on what we saw this spring. You just always working on ball security and the things that just it's faster at the college level, but he's really adapted well. And then it just leads into pass protections and any checks the quarterback makes. And you can see he's a smart guy. It matters to him. So he's definitely not noticeable in a bad way out there. He's going out there making plays and continuing to progress. And I think EJ was heading that way too. So it'd be good to get him back out there on the field.
Hey, Keelan. Is there any separation between Keelan and Austin at this point?
Depends on what you're looking at. Again, we look at them just moving the ball down the field, and both of them I have to look exactly the drive charts because they flip so much between ones and twos. But we can go in with either one of them. I feel very comfortable with that. And obviously, we got to pick one, and we will pick one. We'll continue to work through that here in the days ahead.
Yeah, how's Lorcan, Quinn, and Connor Talty fared in the scrimmages, and are you pleased with their progress this fall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think both of them, are very, very talented. And I think Connor's really built a lot of momentum through the offseason, especially since the summer. Lorcan, you can see what he's got as far as leg strength, whether it's field goals, kickoffs, and just maturity. And so he responds and battles back. There's going to be adversity. You're not going to be perfect as a kicker. So a lot of it is like, what's it look like the next kick? What's your response going to be? And so it's a strong competition right now. It's a battle, and I mean that in a good way because they're both kicking very well.
Two more. Let's go to Emily Grace.
Coach, you mentioned that pre-snap was cleaned up. How do you feel like the overall offensive communication was today?
Mm-hmm. A lot of it ends up just not just how you break, but when you get to the line of scrimmage, what that urgency, communication, all of it, just what it feels like. And you can almost anticipate that a play is going to be executed well by how it sounds with the line talking, how they break the huddle. And you can just see there's more and more confidence, and that's leading to I would just say, generally speaking, this week, you're not having busts like we would have week one. You're seeing a gel. You're seeing now you're seeing holes open up, for the running backs to run through. And, we broke down what an explosive run play, what it takes during the beginning of fall camp. And that's the yards you get before contact. That's making a missed tackle, and so, there's a formula to that when you play the percentages, and I think you're seeing more and more of that happen, but it starts all up front with the offensive line. The protection, I think, was ahead of the run game early in camp. I would have said, I think last week, that I liked the direction we were going. I think this week the run game has continued to improve. I think we had as a team, I think we had 4 really good practices this week. Yesterday was more of a walkthrough.
What'd you see from Rico and Meadows in place of Lazier?
Yeah, Meadows got a lot more opportunities today, and that's a lot of times when it comes to. I thought Rico 2 days ago really took advantage of some balls that came his way, made a lot of nice plays. I mean, they're both very trustworthy with everything, and the responsibilities. It's not about that now. It's about going out and use your athleticism to make plays. But I thought Derek. And again, a lot of it's because of the opportunities you get. He got more opportunities today than most of the receiving core, and I thought today was a really good growth day for him. Competitive catches in particular. So using that big body to go up and make some plays. You're not going to catch them all. It's ball placement. It's the defender you're going against. But I like the way he's battling, and he's really growing. Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. That was head coach Kalen DeBoer speaking to the media following scrimmage number 2 that took place this morning at about 9 o'clock or so, and they finished up not long ago. We just heard from head coach Kalen DeBoer. Reed seemed kind of like a quick little press conference, man. I mean, in my opinion, they didn't really hit on a whole bunch. I know he talked about the offense having a better day somewhat, right? Sounds like they found their way and found their footing a little bit earlier this time around after struggling early on in last week's scrimmage. I don't think there was any huge takeaways really from what he had to say. Of course, we're going to talk some nuggets and some intel coming out of the scrimmage, but in terms of breaking down what he had to say following his press conference, only thing really comes to mind, he talked about the 2 quarterbacks, of course, and one thing that he did mention, they asked is their separation, and it sounded like he kind of not necessarily stopped himself, but it's obvious, kind of everybody's been saying, like, there is separation when it comes to playmaking ability. Keelan Russell is a more talented player. Like, there's no denying that. It's almost like he started alluding to that, but he caught himself. And he talked about, going back and forth. Some guys, are getting reps of the 1s and the 2s, and they're switching. And it sounds like, in terms of their ability to move the ball down the field, the offense, there's probably not a huge chunk of separation there. But in terms of each player's ability, and one guy probably making more plays, not probably, that is making more plays than the other, just giving your offense just a little bit more explosiveness, just a little bit more of ability to capitalize on certain things. I think it feels like Keelan Russell is clearly that guy. And as long as that's the case and everything else remains relatively similar, I don't see how you don't name the young phenom quarterback the starter. So he wasn't ready to name one just yet. He said the coaches will continue discussing that over the weekend, which I'm sure they will. Again, Chris Lowe did report this morning that he would expect Keelan Russell to be named the starter by early next week. So take what you will with that one, and I guess we'll just have to figure out. But again, that was before they even scrimmaged. That was at 8:55 this morning, before scrimmage 2 took place. I want to be clear. So it's not that Chris Lowe got intel from scrimmage number 2 and now he felt that way. He put out this tweet before they even took the field for scrimmage number 2, which is definitely very interesting. Did you catch anything in that press conference that really stood out to you? I mean, I don't think there's anything big. I know they asked him about special teams.
I like my MVP, Connor Talty, is doing this thing, toughest guy on the football team. So, yeah, other than that, I mean, it was ho-hum. Listen, they already know the starting quarterback's going to be. They already know. You can just tell he's not saying anything here or there that sways one side or the one player or the other. But I can just tell when you've done these things so many times, body language, I'm watching him, tapping on the podium and blah, blah, blah. Listen, he just don't want to give. Kind of what I was talking about with Grubbs. Remember Grubbs with the offensive lineman? He came out and said, this is going to be the starter. The guy, competition's still going on in the spring. Remember we was talking about that. He's just trying to hold it close to the vest right now. And he saw what he needed to see today. Chris Lowe already done talked to them behind the scenes. They already told Chris Lowe about practices. I promise you, Ryan Grubb has done said everything because he's got diarrhea of the mouth as a coach. So I promise you, he done told him everything. So I don't think it was Kalen DeBoer, but I bet you Ryan Grubb already said, oh, no. Because I know what these coaches do behind the scenes. They can be like, listen, man, Keelan's that dude. and he's going to be our guy. So just letting you know, go ahead and prepare your story. So when we announce it, boom, your story is already in the system. We give it to you first. It's already done. I mean, it is. He's just playing the coach speak game. That's what
you have to do. Well, you have to do it out of respect too, right? I mean, the last thing you want to do is have one of your quarterbacks hear from a tweet that there has been a decision made, right? That's bad business. So you got to look at it from that perspective.
Well, they hear it now. You don't think these guys?
I'm saying, they think about it. They were on the bus, or they were probably just taking the field when that tweet was put out. So Austin Mack might be going back to his locker. Listen. Yeah, I feel bad now, man. He might be going back to his locker right now.
You're in a competition, right? You know how it is. You battling for a spot.
Yeah, I've been in a
job, right? Especially now. You probably got the phone with them as they go across to the stadium, whatnot, right? Getting backpack and bone. Some local reporter goes, Chris Lowe says, Keelan Russell's the guy. He is the guy, 100%. He's the guy. If you're competing, I'm gonna be like, all right, coach. Somebody in this camp done dropped it. Somebody done dropped the info, and I know one guy I'll be looking right at. Ryan Grubb.
I mean, but listen. It very well could. I mean, because if you read the rest of his tweet, he goes on to say, Keelan has had where did it go? It was like, let me see. Hold on. It was like Keelan has had a very impressive preseason, all that stuff. You get the point. So, I mean, it could have been very well, like you said, because I'll be honest, like when I'm up there, I'll have folks just come up there. We're talking, right? Chatting. And there was, like, for example, Lotstier Brooks. Like, I went to the first practice in spring, and there's folks that work in the building, right, that just were walking up to me. We were talking, and, like, we were watching practice together, and they're just, hey, man, you need to watch out for this guy, man. He's going to be a ball player. Like those kind of comments. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it could have been something simple like that. Yeah, it could have been like, hey, man.
The fish have been talking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it might not have been like, hey, we're going to name Keelan the starter. It probably was just like, hey, man, Keelan has been crushing this camp, man. I don't know how we don't. You don't think so?
Chris Lowe's case, no, they already told him. I'm telling you right now. And I promise when I talk to him, he tell me, like,
tell him to jump on the show. Tell him to call him real quick. Tell him to call him 5 minutes. I'm just curious.
It's fresh. Everybody want to get on your ESPN.
Hey, well, we're live right now. I don't worry about that. Tell him to dial you up real quick. 5 minutes, man. Tell him to just say, call me 5 minutes, man.
Right, he probably going to dial me up because I'm at. Because I'll be like, yo, Chris, the Ryan Grubb tell you that.
No. You don't do all that.
Hey, bro, come on, bro.
Don't do all that. All right, let's set the timeout real quick. Let's set the timeout real quick. When we come back, we'll keep talking scrimmage number 2. I will say, I did ask briefly kind of about at least the running game, how the running game looked. And they did confirm that much better today. I don't know if I say much better. They definitely said better. So, I mean, wait, what do you say? Why are you laughing? I'm just saying, better is good. I mean, listen, they did talk about the last few days in the press conference that they finished up with their running
storm. Let's go to the Kentucky game. When we see them play Kentucky, we'll get an idea what they can do.
Hey, I said, I'm saying compared to scrimmage number 1. Listen, if you're just saying better from scrimmage number 1, I'm not saying better like all around it's going to be. I'm saying they said better in the sense like it was better today. I mean, that's why I hate that I can't.
He did use one word, and we got to get a break. He said inconsistent. He did use that word, inconsistent.
I think that's very fair to use that word. I mean, that's kind of been the whole, I mean, the last couple of years, inconsistency has really kind of been one of the common themes, unfortunately. I mean, it's being honest here. So we got to hit a timeout.
I got to pull up down there and talk to Ryan Grubb.
Oh, my gosh. Y'all probably enjoy a nice cigar together, man. Shout out to R&R Cigars while I'm thinking about it. rnrcigars.com. Use that code Miller's Edge. That way you guys can get 20% off, and they will be able to, hook you up with a nice deal. Again, at Miller's Edge. Not at the Miller's Edge. Just code Miller's Edge because you guys 20% off. That is R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street. That way you guys can go hang out, enjoy a nice game, right? Watch the games there, enjoy a nice cigar, over 160 bourbons. And, it's the place to be this football season. R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street, the official cigar provider of Alabama football.
Jeep Dodge Ram, Tuscaloosa's destination for iconic Jeeps. Owner loyalty earns $1,500 cash back on a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393-914.
Purchase. Plus, check out the new Big Game Headquarters menu featuring the affordable All-Stars. The Hillcrest Huddle at Bomb Hours, Tuesdays on Tide 100.9 FM.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on the Thursday edition of The Game, we're going to have a chance to feature Hugh Miller, former NFL quarterback. He's going to help us understand why this Kalen DeBoer offense is so quarterback friendly. We're going to recap the second scrimmage of fall camp. We'll do that. Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com. Kalen DeBoer audio that you need to hear. And we'll also talk with another SEC quarterback. So two quarterbacks on The Game starting at 2 p.m. on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports talk show in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekday
9. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. Scorching sunshine, dangerous heat index values near 110. Highs this afternoon near 100. And a light westerly breeze. Watch the sky later. Could see a strong to severe storm pop up here this afternoon into the early evening. Continued storm chance early tonight. Cloudy, muggy 75. Sizzling sunshine with pop-up storms tomorrow and Saturday. 96 tomorrow, 97 on Saturday. Richard DeWetting of the Weather Channel for Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
It's 92 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The best sports talk in the state. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Into this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope you guys enjoy that press conference. I guess you're not allowed to.
Might be your last word.
Hey, I know. I guess we can't listen to press conferences anymore. If former players, members of the broadcast team, you can't stream the press conference. I don't know, man. This is just, I don't know. Anyway, let's keep it rolling.
Probably the video.
I mean, stealing views, though. I mean, bro, all right, I mean, dude, you can react to video like you literally can do. Maybe because it's a live stream, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know, but there's literally media members up there, though. You know what I mean? There's media members up there that are able to record. You can't stream it live, but you can do it afterwards. Maybe that's what it was. You know what? I'll be the bigger person. I apologize. I apologize if we offended somebody up there. But I mean, I'm like, if I was up there literally with my phone, I could stream it myself. You see what I'm saying? If I sent an intern up there, they could stream it themselves. So I guess we'll just do that. We'll just send somebody up there, and then they can stream it, and we'll just stream it.
Went up there, and I could have.
No one communicated the time. I didn't get an email about the time. I was planning on going to the scrimmage, like I always do, but I never got normally they send out an official email. And so the time was off. And I wasn't just going to go to the press conference.
No distraction, but ain't nothing but a little distraction. The move on. We got something. Well, by the way, so bottom line is this. I can confirm 150% that everybody in that building, everybody is Keelan Russell. So that is confirmation. So it's just a matter of time when he's ready to announce it. So we all kind of figure that. But it's what, let's go. I'm excited. I'm excited about Russell being the quarterback. I'm really excited to see how he plays.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we all kind of knew it was coming at some point. But I guess we'll wait on that official announcement. But like you said, I mean, what?
I'm just laughing at these people. Well, they used to say at the old Baptist church for benediction, drinking up the wine, communion. Holy wine, drinking up that wine, that good holy wine. As long as I know I gotta see that Miller's edge, we're gonna drink up that wine.
Oh man, let's hit this break because we got Adam coming back. We'll talk some more scrimmage number 2 when we come back. We'll be joined by Adam Lamparello of Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy. Again, big news. Chris Lowe reporting that Keelan Russell will be named the starting quarterback very shortly, maybe as soon as early next week.
We have confirmed.
Yeah, and Pastor Payne has done some research and has confirmed that is, in fact, not just coming from one person. So we'll keep talking about that and more right here on this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Martin Weiss.
The Athletic reporting that Colts tight end Tyler Warren left practice early. He appeared to injure his groin. Los Angeles Chargers starting center Tyler Biadasz out indefinitely after injuring his ACL and the other parts of his left knee. Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle Vita Vea agreed to a 1-year, $30 million extension. And Commanders defensive tackle Johnny Newton out indefinitely as he tore his pectoral. Peyton Watson is going to the Cleveland Cavaliers on a trade. Max Strus going to the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Denver Nuggets receiving a 2031 Cavaliers first-round pick and 2032 Kings second-round pick. Watson will sign a new 4-year, $88 million deal to join the Cavaliers. That deal will include both a player option and a trade kicker per Shams Charania. In the WNBA, A.Z. Fudd, Dallas Wings rookie, will undergo arthroscopic right knee surgery next week and miss the remainder of this season.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy, founded by attorney and professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases, known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit Lamparello-law.com. That's Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy. Proud partners. Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393-9149 for your free estimate today. That's 205-393-9149. Asphalt Restoration, where smooth roads start. Roll Tide. Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
And knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with 4-time SEC champion and 2-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here's college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
Into this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're now joined by Adam Lamparello of Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy, who joins us every Thursday. And of course, you guys need that representation if you're in a criminal situation or you find yourself in a situation like that and you need somebody to represent you, or of course, academic misconduct, NIL, you name it, they've got you covered, plus a whole bunch of other services for high school, college, and graduate students, like exam and test taking preparation, subject matter master. The list goes on. They've got you covered. So check them out, lamparello-law.com. Schedule yourself a free consultation and go subscribe to their YouTube channel at Lamparello Law for free legal advice. Adam, welcome in, man. How's everything?
Thanks a lot, Christian. Great to be here. How you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. We're excited, man. Scrimmage number 2 took place this morning, so we got plenty we're talking about. Chris Lowe dropping bombshell news that, hey, a starter pretty much has been named. It's just not official. And that would be redshirt freshman Keelan Russell, the 5-star quarterback out of Texas. Adam, I want to start there, man. I want to get your thoughts on that because you've had a number of thoughts about this quarterback battle. You've wanted to put them to battle, literally. You wanted to battle test them. You wanted to really toughen them up and figure out who was the guy. And now it sounds like we might have that guy. When you hear Keelan Russell is believed to be that guy, which the Pastor Payne has, reached out to some of his contacts and even kind of confirmed that is what is going around right now. What are your thoughts on hearing Keelan Russell is the guy?
I'm very nervous. I'm nervous because despite all of the upside that Keelan Russell has, and I don't doubt that, he hasn't taken a hit in 2 years. He's never faced an SEC defense. And I don't care how talented he is. It worries me that part of his maturation process is going to be somewhat rocky. And I'm disappointed, too, that Austin Mack didn't beat him out. Austin Mack's been there far longer, and I would have expected more out of Austin Mack. So I have no doubt that Keelan Russell earned the job. I have no doubt that he has amazing potential, but I am concerned that the last time he ever played was in high school, and he's going to be facing Georgia and going down to Baton Rouge. I mean, I know that Jalen Hurts started as a freshman. I know Bryce was only there for a year, but I'm not ready to say that Russell is the next Bryce Young or the next Tua. So I would say congratulations to Keelan Russell, but my optimism is cautious.
And I think that's fair. I mean, we were talking about any young quarterback. I guess my response, Adam, would be, really, one way or the other, you'd have a quarterback that hasn't really played a bunch, right? Mm-hmm. And just going off of kind of what I've seen, I felt since the spring that Keelan has been the guy that you probably want to roll with if you want to have more playmaking ability, which I feel like this offense needs, right? Which is not the only thing. We need a more established running game. You need more consistency for sure. But one thing that I feel like people have been talking a lot about is the fact that we're missing some of that explosibility. Ty Simpson was great at times last year, but we didn't have much of that deep ball, right? We didn't have a bunch of those explosive plays offensively. And I feel like Keelan Russell and his ability, it adds that, right? It adds that to your offense, whether it's his ability to throw the football. I mean, you see how nice it comes off his hand. Everybody's talking about the viral clip. He's just throwing it at practice. You just see how tight that spiral is on it. I mean, the dude is smooth. But then on top of that, you're talking about a guy that can really threaten a defense with his legs. That's not what he wants to do first and foremost. I mean, he's a thrower for sure. But the fact that you can throw in some zone read elements to his game, the defense now has to respect that. When things start breaking down, you can trust his ability to roll outside the pocket. He's still keeping his eyes downfield, looking for targets. But if he needs to improvise and scramble, I've seen him do plenty of that. So I like it. To me, it gives me confidence knowing that they're not going to be playing the guessing game. If they're naming him the starter, they're saying, hey, man, he's shown enough for us to put trust in him to throw him out there. Of course, you have to remember this, too. Just because you're named starter week 1 does not mean you're the starter for the whole season. There can always be a change. This really just means he will take the first snaps week 1 versus East Carolina. If he gets out there versus East Carolina and he's, a nervous wreck and things are kind of falling apart and some of that inexperience is really showing up, best believe they can put Austin Mack in there. So remember, that's always a possibility.
Well, they're going to go this way. And here's the reason why. One is the upside. The upside is a lot more sexy, if you will, than that of Austin Mack. Number 2, this is more about the offensive line and the lack thereof, because they can't block nobody. They got to find somebody that can move and improvise and make plays down the field with their athleticism. I think it's more about that, because I think if you look at both these guys, it's probably not that big of a difference. I think they both are commanding the huddle. I think he alluded to that during his press conference. But I think when it comes to when things break down or getting them out of bad plays into a good play, both of them probably the same. But when it comes to the physicality of getting them out of a bad play, right? When the offensive line breaks down and the pressure comes, having that guy spin out of there, getting outside the pocket and throwing it downfield, launching the bomb, that's Keelan Russell. And that's where those big plays are going to come from. So it's like, 6-1, half a dozen the other, right? Even if you go with Austin Mack, not a ton of experience. I talked about, I like what I did see when he played against Indiana in that garbage time, but he handled the situation well. But here's what I like what Chris said. Chris said, everyone in the building. So it's not just Ryan Grubb. It's not just Kalen DeBoer. Everybody to a man, when they're saying this is the dude, then he's the dude. And so I think that's what we got to ride with. But if it breaks down, like Christian said, you get the East Carolina, Kentucky, and there's a lot of mistakes, a couple of interceptions, the game is tight in the third quarter. Do not be shocked if he said, you know what, Austin, warm up, get in the game. So I think you go the younger guy and then saying if he can't handle real-time situations, Adam, we got Austin Mack, who's a little bit older, although not a ton of playing time, but old experience-wise, been around campus, he's able to come in here. So that's what I see happening. So you got the young guy, let's go with the highly talented guy, big upside. Let's go with the more solid guy. And we kind of probably expect they're going to be moments. You're that young, that offensive line, they're going to be moments. But then we can put in an Austin Mack, and he can carry a team, maybe get them through a game, give Keelan time to bounce back. So that's kind of what I see happening.
I agree with it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that's fair. No, I was responding. Go ahead.
No, I that's a great analysis. My only concern about mobile quarterbacks sometimes is he going to bail out too soon? Is he going to, miss plays because he's, running too quick, not staying in the pocket enough? And I got to tell you this, and I got to get this off my chest. As far as this offensive line goes, I would immediately revise the depth chart and demote every single one of them and create a competition, because it's unacceptable that the offensive line is purportedly so weak. I think they got to really light a under their and start a real competition. Am I wrong here? I mean, this is not acceptable.
Well, Adam, there has been, this past week of practice has been a lot better. Last few days, we've heard a lot about the running game looking a lot better. Today's scrimmage, I've heard that the offense did look much better, especially running the football. They didn't take forever to kind of get going early on, and they had some explosives on the ground. So, I'll be honest. I think until people get to really see them, right, throughout the course of the year, I think it's important to at least kind of just wait to form our opinions on that. Because I'll be honest with you, like, I went to the one scrimmage last week, but I'm not seeing it every single day in the same, sequence as these coaches, right? So it's hard and that's why I even myself, like, I know they're still going to have growing pains. They're still going to need some work, but everything I'm being told and hearing is also saying that they're making progress. They're showing some flashes of their ability to open some things up, to be physical, to let those guys have an opportunity to make some plays on the ground. And so I think, it's definitely frustrating when you think about the last few years and we're just kind of assuming that it's going to continue that way. But I do have confidence in Coach Clem and his ability to coach and teach these guys up to the point where, I don't think it's going to be perfect, but I do think it is going to be somewhat improved. And that's why I'm really bummed I couldn't get out there this morning because I would have loved it. That was my biggest thing. I wanted to see week 1 to week 2, right? How big of a difference that is. I mean, I'm just going to have to go to a practice now and go watch some 11 on 11, which is cool. But it sounds like, in my opinion, that things definitely picked up this week. And that's very encouraging. That's what you want. Last year, they did have a bad scrimmage 1 and then got better scrimmage 2. Then we know how the season went. So that doesn't necessarily signal that everything is just going to continue going this direction. But I think it's at least encouraging knowing that they did take that first step, which was come back the next week and respond the right way. And so we just have to go from there. But I haven't, listen, again, from everything I've seen and heard this fall camp, it's not enough for me to go ahead and say, gear up for the offensive line to just be the worst thing since sliced bread. I'm not getting that. In fact, I'm getting a lot more positive reviews this time around, which, again, we'll know more once the season comes. But that is at least encouraging in my mind.
Well, you know better than I do, and I haven't in practice, so I humbly say I could be wrong. But I will say, as far as Mac and Keelan go, who was the quarterback who boxed this summer?
It was Keelan Russell that was boxing, so you might have been onto something with that, man. I mean, you were saying put these guys through trials and tribulations like that, and he, in fact, was one of those guys that he put the mitts on, or somebody, he had the gloves on, he was hitting the mitts. And it appears that he's going to be the starting quarterback, at least named very shortly. So I don't know. Maybe Adam, he had a little method to his madness there.
Some people are mad in the chat
about what?
They're mad about Chris making that But, listen.
But I'm saying if people are telling them that, I mean, they know who they're talking to. I mean, so that, you get what I'm saying?
Right, but this is what happens is the fact that coaches know when they talk to ESPN and when they give, the Adam Schefters of the world, when they get these things, coaches know what they're doing. They're not stupid, right? They give things to guys and let them say, hey, so kind of give the people a heads up what's going on. So, and I think a lot of people kind of expected that anyway. This is not like it's, they're going to break into a show or game and break it on ESPN that, Russell's quarterback. And I mean, they're not going to do that. I mean, so this is not like that kind of breaking news. And it is just what it is. I think if you just read between the lines or read the tea leaves here, it just suggests that this is what it's going to be. If this offensive line had been intact and you have so much confidence that they can do the job, but based on what I was told, this wasn't from Christian, but based on what I was told about this offensive line, it's pretty bad. That's what I heard. And and that's just real talk.
You said what was pretty bad?
I heard the offensive line was pretty bad. And
I'm saying, in what sense? In what are you saying? In
physicality?
Are you, no. I mean, when though? Are you saying as in general, all through fall camp? Are you saying for scrimmage number 1? What are you referring to?
After scrimmage number 1.
Got it. Yeah, no. They struggle scrimmage number 1. That is true. They struggle scrimmage 1. What I'm saying is anything outside of that though. I'm just telling you, it hasn't been that bad. That's what I was just saying. That's why I was responding to Adam saying that. Scrimmage number 1. It
hasn't been that bad.
No, there were still struggles here and there at practice for sure. But I'm saying there also were days where people were walking away saying, hey, man, they had a pretty decent day. Like they did some good stuff today. That's what I was saying. It wasn't like all through fall camp. It has always looked like that.
Right.
Because I'm just being honest.
My point is,
go ahead.
Let me just say this. My point is, if the offensive line was solid, right? So if you got the continuity is there, the synergy is there with this offensive line, and coaches feel comfortable with it, that they can protect the quarterback, then I think you might hear something different when it comes to the quarterback who's going to be the starter, right? It's just plain and simple that Keelan is a much more athletic, explosive, dangerous guy that they can. And I think what Ryan Grubb also sees, that they can add more to the playbook with him in there. You can have design quarterback runs. You can have those read option plays, right? You can do a little bit more that's more effective with Keelan Russell. Plus, extend plays. Do things like move the pocket. When I say that, I'm saying, sprint rollouts, right? You get the snap, you start rolling to your right and or to your left. You get him on the move, and you give him actually an option to run the ball even in that. So you can do things when your offensive line isn't that good. You have to be able to get out the number 2 pencil. The coach has to be able to draw up some stuff that helps them. In the past, their offensive line got no help. And coaches would sit back and see these guys get blown up like Scud missiles, right? They keep doing the same thing, and they keep trying to run this, and they couldn't run the ball because they got no movement. They couldn't push nobody off the ball, yet they still kept doing the same things. That's on coaches. So the coaches got to help these guys out. They can be talented at the offensive line, just very young. They still need some growth. I like them. They're going to get better, but I think early on they're going to have to do some things, man, to help whomever the quarterback is. They're going to have to do things to help these young quarterbacks to be successful. If they just, take that mentality out of that, this is my offense, this works, this system works, but yet these guys does not have the skill set to do it. That's dumb coaching, right? Because a good coach would say, this is what kind of skill set I have, this type of talent that I have on the football field. So I'm going to devise a scheme that fits and help these guys to become successful.
Yeah. Let me let's do this. I'm gonna send us a break real quick because we got some scrimmage intel, some nuggets coming from Pete Nakos that we can discuss and talk about that, and we'll run from there right here on this Thursday edition on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're joined by Adam Lamparello of Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy right here.
And jet skis. Redline Power Sports, open Monday through Saturday on Highway 43 North at Tierce Patton Road in Northport. Call 737-7425.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation across the United States and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors who are shaping the next generation.
Bear it any longer. Well, maybe a chapter longer. Performance is so good, you'll give love a second chance. Audible. Stories that speak to you.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless.
Call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. Scorching sunshine, dangerous heat index values near 110. Highs this afternoon near 100. And a light westerly breeze. Watch the sky later. Could see a strong to severe storm pop up here this afternoon into the early evening. Continued storm chance early tonight. Cloudy, muggy 75. Sizzling sunshine with pop-up storms tomorrow and Saturday. 96 tomorrow, 97 on Saturday. Richard DeWetting of the Weather Channel for Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
It's 93 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Catch every game and every moment right here. This is your home of Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. So I'm just reading some of these chats. Greg McRoy said the OL was horrendous. When are y'all talking about? Y'all saying now or y'all talking about last year? I'm curious. Last year, yes, they struggled. They had a lot of issues. We've pointed that out. We've done breakdown videos. Let's double check on that. Make sure we're not getting in trouble for doing any of that. But we can all agree that it was bad last year. But the goal is this year to be better, not necessarily to be elite. That would be ideal, but I just don't think that's realistic. The goal is to be better. Can they at least do that? I think they can. We'll have to see. Here's some nuggets coming from Pete Nakos of On 3 regarding Alabama's second scrimmage. He talked about the quarterbacks and mentioned that kind of built off of what Chris Lowe reported earlier. The belief is that Austin Mack is a little bit behind Keelan Russell at this point. Keelan Russell has the edge, and that he continued today with a very solid scrimmage. Again, he did have one turnover that I think Coach DeBoer mentioned. They mentioned it was Dre Kirkpatrick who came up with the big play. It was on a deep ball, but they did mention that Dre Kirkpatrick made a nice play on the ball. So it wasn't necessarily like a bad play or a bad throw per se. Again, I didn't see it, so I can't speak on it.
Just finished.
Oh, sorry. It looks like let me turn that off. Let me turn that off. Sounds like the press conference started playing again. That wasn't me. All right, let me be clear. All right, sorry. That's out the way. But yes, they mentioned Keelan Russell had a solid day again. Austin Mack also had his moments. But again, they just feel that Keelan Russell continues to just show that playmaking ability, the ability to escape the pocket, make things happen, doing all the things that he's been doing, right? That kind of separates him. E.J. Crowell did not scrimmage. Again, he was also held out, which we already knew. Coach DeBoer mentioned that alongside Latzia Brooks. Also did not participate. But they did mention our guy, Trayshawn Brown, had another strong showing and is carving out a role for himself. Daniel Hill, they mentioned, remains fully healthy and has put together an impressive fall camp. And they also mentioned Kevin Riley, not to rule him out, and what he brings to this offense. So some encouraging intel coming out of scrimmage number 2 offensively. It did mention they only had a thud scrimmage, so it sounded like they didn't go full tackle, which is kind of interesting to me. Definitely probably were trying to preserve guys, probably concerned about injuries. But they also went on to say, defensive linemen keep showing up. Terrence Green, who really impressed me in scrimmage number 1, he continuously flashed in scrimmage number 1. Sounds like he had another great day in scrimmage number 2, which is really encouraging. We had a question about the defensive line earlier, and then it seems like Alabama escaped mostly unharmed outside of lower body injury to Nick Sherman. So those are some of the little nuggets that we have coming out of scrimmage number 2 from Pete Nakos. I'll keep working on some stuff on my end to get a few more nuggets and intel. Adam, got to ask you real quick about this defensive line, right? I know you gave your thoughts on the offensive line, but they brought up Terrence Green. Of course, we've been hearing a lot about him, Devin Tompkins, those guys. I'm definitely going to try to get some more intel kind of on that group and how they look. But in the meantime, how confident are you in them? I know you're confident the offensive line is a little low right now, but how about the defensive line? We talked yesterday about their ability to potentially be really defensively as a whole, elite, right? Are you in a belief that they could potentially find themselves in that category by the time the season finishes?
I am very excited about this defensive line. They're fast, they're physical, they're tough, and with the kind of secondary that we have, if that defensive line can get pressure on the quarterback, we're going to have one of the best defenses, if not the best in the country. So I think that this reminds me a little bit this year of maybe a Saban team from around 2014, where, we didn't blow people out, but we had a defense that people couldn't score on. Think about the rally in Death Valley. That was when AJ was the quarterback and TJ Yeldon scored the go-ahead. We weren't blowing people out, but we had a tough defense. I see this being a vintage, potentially Saban defense if it comes together. So, yeah, I'm excited.
And Adam, now, see, those are strong words now where you throw around vintage Saban defenses now. Listen, I will say this. I get it. I get it because I did say this when we were talking about their ability to be elite. Like, I think it depends on your definition of elite. And it's hard for me to put them in the same category as some of those just because, I want to see it first, right? Just because I know how high of a standard that is. But for me, I personally feel like if they go out there this year and they consistently stop the run better, right? Because I saw them in scrimmage number 1. They looked to be disruptive. They looked to be, play physical. I saw them getting great knockback, playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. They were, allowing linebackers to play downhill and fly to the football. That looked very reminiscent of what you're describing. But I also know that was a scrimmage. And I also know the offensive line struggled that day, which, and to their point, they mentioned Greg McElroy has been talking about the offensive line has been struggling, which is true. Again, they've done some good. They're still not there yet, which is, expected, right? They're young. They're going to have growing pains. I don't think anybody really expected them to be in fall camp looking like, one of the top units, right? That's just not realistic. It doesn't happen that fast. But that said, I think it's important to see them do it against other people, which I feel like what I've seen, I anticipate them being able to do some of that, but will they be able to recreate everything I saw scrimmage number 1? I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're going to play offensive lines that are much better than what they saw in scrimmage number 1 and probably for the most of this training camp. So I'm holding my judgment for that. But to your point, if they can get after the quarterback better, if they look more dominant playing the run and they're more consistent, I think the guys in the back end, I think these linebackers are good enough for them to, come together and collectively be one of the better units in the country. Now, top 10, I don't know. I'm thinking more like 10 to 15. I mean, they've been like top 20, top 25-ish the last 2 years. So, I mean, I expect that to be the floor for them. If anything worse, I'll be honest, I think I would say it's almost a disappointing year, if I'm just being honest with you. Even though I was unsure going into spring, but now seeing all these pieces come together, I think they should at least be as good as they've been over the last couple of years. They should not take a step back. They definitely shouldn't do that. If they're at least hovering around that, I think that's fine. But I hope they can take a step forward and maybe be like top 15. I think they have that potential.
Yeah, I mean, you do make a good point. If this team played the 2014-2015 Alabama teams, they would lose 35-13. If they played the 16-17 teams, they'd probably lose 42-10. But teams aren't as good as they were back then, even though that was recent. And we're going to be in every game this year. We're not going to ever get blown out, so it's going to come down to those little things. And that's where maturity is going to be so critical on this team and those intangibles, because the difference between 8-4 and 10-2 is going to be very thin, and I hope we can get there.
My biggest thing, Adam, is, defensively, I think we'll be able to, like someone said in the chat, you can lean on them for sure. But you mentioned maturity. I feel like you have that on the defensive side. I'm not sure how much you have on that on the offensive side. And that's where I get a little concerned, right? Because I just know, in scrimmage number 1, it seemed like defense, their sideline had a plan. They had energy. It seemed like it was a little bit levels ahead of like offensively. It's like, who are the leaders? Somebody's got to step up. And that to me does concern me a little bit because they're very young, right? I mean, you're talking about on the offensive line, you got 3 guys that are sophomores. Javen James is a little bit older of a player, but he's new, right? Then you got Rayson Delgado. He's got a few more years under his belt, but he's coming from Cal Poly. And then you look at the wide receiver room, those guys are young. Ryan Coleman-Williams is like the oldest guy in the room outside of Noah Rogers, who's now hurt, right? And then quarterbacks, young and experienced, and running backs, kind of same deal. We're expecting the true freshmen to be 2 of the main pieces. So that part worries me offensively.
Do you think that anybody that you've seen on this defense could have started on the teams when you were a junior and senior?
Absolutely. I would say Xavier Brown. I think now if you have me play the game, hey, you got to remove somebody and then put them in. That's tough. But if you're saying, do they have the talent and ability, and could they do it? Oh yeah, Yonze Pierre, Xavier Brown, without a doubt. I feel like probably Devin Tompkins. I mean, if he ends up being the guy that we think he can be, I think he definitely could have worked in there for sure. And I might be missing one or so, but yeah, I definitely think this team has talent. They're just young, right? Like, does Alabama have the most talented roster in college football? No. A lot of teams have put a lot of resources into getting guys like play now type guys, right? I mean, Texas and some of these Ohio State, I mean, like they have some more experience and talent. We have the talent. We just lack some of the experience. So I think it's just a matter of those guys getting those reps. And that's why, to me, I'm like, if you feel like, and they should feel like this, Keelan Russell is that guy for you, go ahead and name him the starter, get these valuable reps over the next couple weeks. That way he can, operate with the guys that he's going to be playing with. go through some of those growing pains in practice the next couple of weeks, throw them out there versus East Carolina, and then see where it goes from there. I personally think that's the best idea. Then worst case, if you have to go back to Mac, you always can do that, because naming your starter week 1 is just that, right? I mean, you can always replace a guy. Might not be easy to do, but you can do it, right? So we got to hit a timeout. We come back, we keep on rolling on this Thursday edition. We're joined by Adam Lamparello of Lamparello Law Education Advocacy. Make sure you guys check them out for all your representation needs. Not only that, they are affordable, especially if you're an Alabama fan. Adam's going to look out for you. Lamparello-law.com. Check them out today. Schedule yourself a free consultation. We got to hit a timeout. We come back, we keep.
That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Thursday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're talking Alabama football fall camp scrimmage. Number 2 took place this morning. We heard from head coach Kalen DeBoer. He addressed the media in his press conference. Didn't get a whole bunch from that. I mean, there really wasn't much to really break down. I mean, his answer to the quarterback question, he definitely is keeping things close to the vest. You know, Chris Lowe is reporting that Keelan Russell is going to be named the starter. Coach DeBoer claimed that they still have some talking to do, right? Once they I guess go back and watch the tape and assess, because the way it worked last week was they scrimmaged and they had Friday and Saturday off. So it sounds like these coaches aren't going to have any time off. They're going to be meeting and discussing. But according to Chris Lowe, and my dad reached out to some of his contacts, and he's confirmed that what Chris Lowe has reported is, I mean, the consensus pretty much in the building, right? It wasn't just from one person. It sounds like most people are of that understanding. So, I mean, and plus we all know, I mean, when Chris Lowe says something, I mean, it's generally not generally, I'd probably say it's probably 100%. I mean, has Chris Lowe ever said anything that wasn't right? Not to my knowledge, at least. Yeah. So,
I mean, you can take it to the bank. I mean, so that's what's been said in the building by everybody. And so that's probably going to be, I don't think there's much more meat than what you were just saying. It sounds good.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me, you know what? This is a great point in the chat from Lynn, right? It's so hard to tell if you're improving when you thud in practice. I just see the run play calling in run game. We run it in the numbers. So this just made me think of something. The scrimmage was a thud scrimmage. Meaning, I mean, that's not full go. I mean, that thud is thud, right? I mean, you give a good, physical contact. You get your arms around as if you're making the tackle, then you're letting off. I mean, so from an offensive line standpoint, I mean, I guess, yeah, if a hole opens up and you're opening the lane for your running back, that's one thing. But that's a great point from Lynn. I mean, it's very hard to officially dissect and diagnose that, hey, this was much better those are different circumstances. You see what I'm saying, Adam? Like, I don't. That's interesting.
This is what I've been talking about. This is what I get so upset about. First, you can't hit the quarterbacks, and now we're not going full with the offensive line. I mean, we want to be a physical team. Go out there and play football like it's supposed to be played. Am I crazy? I mean,
I will say this from a trenches standpoint, the work that you do up front pretty much is going to be the same. That is the good news. Right. Offensive line and defensive line, anytime we went thud, I mean, we still have full pads on. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just when we get to the ball carrier,
just not taking guys to the
you're not taking guys to the ground. So I was about to say, and really you do that. It's a precautionary deal where it is true. Majority of injuries come from guys on the ground. And if you go back to last week, A.K. Deer's injury, he was tackled from behind when he got hurt. So I think their belief is, hey, man, let's try to protect some of our skill guys, our ball carriers, guys that have the football in their hands, right? We can still get physical work from the trenches because, I mean, that's all going to be the same. It's just when a ball carrier is running, you still have to, when thud, you still have to go, bring yourself with them and line up. It can be good for to practice. I know, contrary to popular belief, you would think thud does not practice good tackling habits, but it does make you get in better position to make tackles, right? Sometimes when you're going full tackle, you're just used to kind of lunging and throwing yourself. When you thud, you do have to, square up, wrap up, bring your feet and all that. So let
me ask you a question there, Christian Miller. So
sure.
in the game, East Carolina, first week, they're going to thud?
Yep.
When you run that?
No, sir, they will not thud. They, in fact, they will be.
Ryan Coleman Williams run a slant route. That linebacker's buzzing out there. Is he going to just thud him up? No, he's going to lay the wood. Man, so come on. That's so soft. Let them scrimmage. I mean, we got to stop all this. This football is just powder puff. I mean, I ain't never heard no thud.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying that.
That's just regular practice.
I'm with you. In scrimmage settings, you should be tackling. But again, I'm providing an explanation on probably what they're thinking. I'm just saying, because you had an injury to your key running back that had a very productive camp this far in A.K. Deer by being tackled from behind. Listen, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Think about this. I'm not saying it was the right move. I'm not saying it was the wrong move. But imagine you have a wide receiver room. You're already out Noah Rodgers. Imagine you have a big injury in that wide receiver room. I'll be honest with you. I like the top 5 guys. I heard, Derek Meadows definitely was targeted a good bit today. I know last week Rico Scott had a number of opportunities. I like our wide receiver room, at least 1 through 5. I'm going to be honest with you. After that, it's like dropping off a cliff, it feels like. So I'll be honest, injuries could really derail this football team. If we're just being completely honest here, you got a lot of depth in the secondary, you got a lot of depth in the defensive line. Potentially at linebacker, you have decent depth because I think they feel good about the 2 deep. But on the offensive side of the ball, I'll be honest, offensive line, I do not trust the depth. Wide receiver room, I do not trust the depth. At running back, we already are having depth issues because you got the freshman phenom and E.J. Crowell banged up, and A.K. Deer is going to be out 6 weeks. So I'll be honest with you, offensively, you really can't afford many injuries right now. So, I mean, they probably had that in mind, but I'm with you guys, though. You got to practice tackling. You have to. But they do it. They do have some goal line. The gator roll. Listen, no, I did see that one. That was interesting. We've never practiced that where you literally gator roll. Did you do that?
Me?
No, I'm saying like they were doing a drill where like
normally dumb. We ran through each other.
No. We
get on your back. Get up and you better get your tail up.
No, I was saying like the actual gator rolling, like they were literally practicing rolling your body. Like I was saying, that was a little bit newer to me. We've never
like a gator spins you when it.
No, like a gator you drive around. Oh, yes, man, a gator roll. You ain't country. You ain't country. You don't know what a gator roll is. That's what gators do, man. They smack them big old teeth on you and they roll, man. That's why people get their limbs ripped off, right? Because they smack.
Like, from Perry Mason to you.
No,
are y'all soft nowadays, Adam, in the courtroom?
These days, everybody's worried about their feelings getting hurt. You know what? Stick Jet Tamala over center and tell the defense to kill him. And then we'll play a live real game.
Oh, man. I mean, listen, I will say, like, if you do have injuries, man, and they pile up, that really could hurt this team significantly. But I'm with you guys.
So let's just so if you'd have told me that, and if I was going down there to cover a team and you talking about we got a scrimmage, and then you tell me, it's thud only?
It's it's thud, and they moved it to 9 o'clock too, man. It's like a double.
Man, I'd have been. I'd have left that scrimmage.
These boys
like
got lucky, man. First, they're not staying in the dorms. First, they've gotten to stay at home during training camp.
Yeah.
And now
it is powder puff stuff. Hey, Adam, let me do this for you while you're on here.
I'm jealous of these dudes, man.
I got to do this while you're on here. Resort is the Southern United States premier gaming and entertainment destination, including 2 casino hotels, Silver Star and Golden Moon, featuring a wide variety of slot machine table games, headlining entertainment, and over 1,000 hotel rooms. But I must tell you, because you like to eat, Philip M's award-winning steakhouse, kick back in the sports book for a more casual experience, or just choose from a variety of other dining options. And Pearl River Resort is a place where you can get out there, swing that golf club, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and in with no problems at all, brother. 2 championship courses and the Geyser Falls Winter Park for the entire family. Adam, I had to do this while you was on here, because I know you just said you want like 60,000 or something like that, so you're going to buy like 25 books. Did you just win 65,000, 100,000?
Last year on a slot machine.
There you go.
Why you put all these numbers out there like that, man?
Because you said it. You said it the other day on the show.
No, I didn't say a number. I said Adam hit big. I said maybe like 6 figures or so.
On a slot machine. They got 2 casinos. They got 2 casinos down there, and they got slot machines. I'm looking at my notes right now. Table games, headlining, entertainment. So, you can jam with your 60,000.
Bro, I mean, this is the longest reads of my life. We got to hit a timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. We got a few more minutes with Adam right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9.
Adam, you like that, don't you, Adam?
Yes, thank you very much.
Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393-9149 for your free.
The summer event is happening now at Townsend Honda, Skyland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa.
For well-qualified buyers with approval from Honda Financial Services. Offer ends September 8, 2026.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy.
9,000. That's 900,000 for a free consultation. No fees unless we win. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than that of other lawyers.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation across the United States and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers trying to make a name for themselves. We're here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
Aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel, a specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. Scorching sunshine, dangerous heat index values near 110. Highs this afternoon near 100. And a light westerly breeze. Watch the sky later. Could see a strong to severe storm pop up here this afternoon into the early evening. Continued storm chance early tonight. Cloudy, muggy 75. Sizzling sunshine with pop-up storms tomorrow and Saturday. 96 tomorrow, 97 on Saturday. Richard DeWetting of the Weather Channel for Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
It's 95 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide football.
Alabama touchdown.
Only on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
And welcome back into this Thursday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We've been talking scrimmage number 2. Just a final recap. We only got a couple more minutes real quick. Again, they hit the practice field this morning. They were in, I guess, this is the third tempo. Keelan Russell continues to do some good things, do the things that he's been doing to allegedly earn him the starting job, which we've somewhat confirmed with some sources that appears to be the case. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on that. We also learned the running game and the offensive line had a better scrimmage compared to last week. But again, after learning that it was only third, it's kind of hard to fully take that information and really come up with a true, I guess, opinion on that. But other than that, fellas, I mean, that's probably the latest right now. Of course, tomorrow we'll keep talking about more nuggets and intel that comes out. That's kind of what we got here. But Adam, since you are a world-class lawyer, I did want to ask you your thoughts on these NFL players now being able to return to college. Guys that literally have been in training camp, can now, with less than 2 weeks until the season really starts, return to college. I mean, do you see this lasting? It sounds like it's still the TRO stuff or whatever it's called, the injunctions. What do you think, man?
I think it's ridiculous, but I think the NCAA is to blame because the NCAA changed their eligibility rules in 2022, I believe. So you had players making decisions about whether to declare for the NFL draft based on rules that were later changed, meaning they wouldn't have declared if they knew they had an extra year of eligibility. This is another problem that the NCAA caused. They must not have good attorneys. They need to call me because I'll charge half and I'll get twice as good results. Enough is enough.
I love it.
Call
Something needs to happen.
because that's the dumbest thing ever. Now these kids are going to come back. I think we got a player at South Carolina, DQ Smith, who played at your high school, Christian, quarterback there, and playing secondary at South Carolina.
He was good. He's a good player. He had a good year last year.
But they said now he can come back, which would help South Carolina if he comes back, and I'm sure he'll get an NIL deal on top of that. So
was he in training camp though? Was he on the team?
Yes. Yeah.
Dang.
So I think I got another year eligibility. So I'm getting ready to go get me some new knees, and just for 1 year. For 1 year, I can get out and play a 3 technique, and all I'm going to do is do the grab and turn, grab and turn, grab and turn. Keep those linebackers so they can fast flow through the football. You know, play with your eyes, play with your hands, have violent hands. We're going to knock people back. We're going to hit them in the mouth. We're going to make you freaking pay. When you come in this brown patch, your butt will get stuck. And if you're a player that don't like to stick people, then I'm going to stick your tail up in the stands with people with pom-poms. That's the way I would coach. And then I love them afterwards. I love them to death, and I tell them about Jesus, and I tell them to tell the players that they knock on their tail. Jesus still love you, even though I'm embarrassing you today. Guess what? Jesus loved the embarrassers as well. He loves to embarrass people as well, and so you help them up. Be like Reggie White.
I don't know about all that.
Cool. Sacrifice Jet Tamala, make that defense more physical. That's what they should do.
You guys are just on one today, man. Hey, Adam, tell everybody how they can keep up with Lamprello Law before we let you run, man.
Yeah, you know, if you any of you out there need, you know, some legal advice, and you know, look, if you're an Alabama fan, you get the 100% discount, and we're here to help you. And so if you need legal advice, come visit us at lamprellolaw.com. Give us a call. But as always, honor being on the show, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
Get that book, johnforchrist.com. Get your signed copy.
Thank you.
Adam, we appreciate you, brother.
All right, have a great day.
You too, man. That'll do it for us on this Thursday edition. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday, Free For All Friday, right here on the Miller's Edge, and we'll talk some more about scrimmage number 2 and this bombshell news of Keelan Russell allegedly being QB1. All that coming up tomorrow right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys then.